Welcome to UGC MOOCs on Tourism Planning and Sustainable Development. Now, we shall be taking the topic concept of mass tourism. Dear learners, after the completion of this topic, I believe you will be able to understand the concept of mass tourism. You will be in a position to know the history of mass tourism and you will understand the reasons of mass tourism. Mass tourism is a kind of tourism in which there is huge gathering of tourists in a destination and create huge impact upon its carrying capacity. It includes the assembly of visitors, tourists or voyagers going to a similar destination put regularly in the mean time of a year. It is likewise considered as the ease approach to earn more profit in the destination and marketed as a package tour such as places of Manali, Shimla, Goa, Nainital as places of mass tourism. Mass tourism added to the development of provincial and local and global tourism. The fact is, a term that portrays individuals gathered together or extensive quantity of individuals. Let's have a look on some key figures. Mass tourism is a thought that has been a piece of scholastic and expert travel exchange for long. In the event that we go to history, we see that in 1950, there were in all out 25 million visitors entry all around the world. There were 278 million tourist arrival in 1980 globally. There were 528 million tourist arrivals in 1995 globally, and there were 1.23 billion tourists in 2016, and in the year 2017 this value has gone up to 1.32 billion. It is estimated of UNWTO that by the year 2030 there shall be around 1.8 billion tourists. Mass tourism is the consequences of mass excursion implies individuals are having room schedule wise to movement and unwind or take rest from the work. A display time, there is an expansion in the number of tourists since individuals are having more recreation time and discretionary income that is contributing for mass tourism. Additionally, there are more individuals living past the retirement age who can appreciate tourism. Mass tourism relies on specific variables for the development. For example, increment of relaxation time as well as the structure of time accessible and on the financial matters of tourism and friendliness industry. The lifetime dispersion of extra time has likewise been a vital effect on mass tourism. The growth of senior citizen with discretionary money has also contributed for mass tourism. Let's have a look on the history of mass tourism. Tourism represents around 10% of the world's GDP contribution and is one of the primary generator of business. In the early years of the 20th century, tourism kept on growing as an outcome of expanding income, premium and friendly states of mind, and changes in individuals' travel patterns. Advances in transport enabled individuals to movement in mass. Indeed, mass creation and mass utilization was the method of reasoning of that period. In early 18th century, travel was as yet a curiosity for the masses, and the homogeneous character of the request prompted the generation of the institutionalized item that could suit everybody. The interest for tourism is affected by the image maker who adequately make vacation spots. This is different industry and incorporates originators of lodgings and attractions, and in addition media and travel writers. Dear learners, let's understand some reasons for growth of mass tourism. Explanations behind mass tourism are following: sustained flourishing and resulting ascent in the pay of the general population, increase in the paid recreation time, rise in instructive standard, reduction in the measure of family, development of good correspondence framework, growth of travel agents and tour operators, monotony of work life in an institutionalized society, growth in the quantity of international conferences. Dear learners, let's have a look on various advantages and disadvantages of mass tourism. Advantages: jobs are produced by tourism in numerous territories. In the underlying development of the resorts, in movement, in sustenance arrangement, and in other administration related businesses. 2. Local people get advantage specifically from work. Roads, rail, power, and other services are developed for tourists. Local people also get advantage from these infrastructure. Transport services are created. Some disadvantages of mass tourism. 1. Various international companies also become the part of business in. This can bring about the leakage of the benefits to outside the country. Jobs can be occasional, particularly in shoreline and skiing based resorts or hill station like that. Individual can consequently wind up out of the work in the nearby season. 3. Tourists present new esteems in society. This causes social contamination. Land is lost from cultivating to tourist infrastructure and improvements. But there were some factors which contributed for the growth of mass tourism, like the variables that made room for mass tourism for its brilliant age are specifically technology generation and management related changes in the advance. The hotel chain, airlines, business ventures, travel and short breaks have been the element that helped the advancement of the mass tourism. Tour operators, sanctioned flights, and comprehensive tours, particularly occasion package tour, are the identifier of mass tourism. The factors that changed the world tourism business and appropriately mass tourism can be condensed as being technology, air transportation, settlement organization, tour operators, combinations and mass utilization relying upon occasion needs. Impressions of mass utilization in tourism consumers are central to any financial action, and tourism is not an exemption to this. The focal point of business in 1950s is the mass creation, scale economies, standard items and low cost in the tourism business as one account of different enterprise. Albeit mass tourism was not client arrangement in the first phase. The tourists were the last shopper of the package tour. The masses discovered mass tourism sensible because of its value levels. The center of mass tourism is less expensive package tour sorted out by tour operators and contract flights. Tour operator had delegates in goals based on look into. This drove tourists to feel secure, while traveling and tourism is also coordinated towards low and center based tourists having 2 to 4 weeks paid occasions. Mass tourism and unsustainability. Worldwide tourism is wrecking nature and cultural characters and does not bode well. In spite of the moderate yet enduring increment in quantity of ventures asserting to the capable or green, the reality remains that the present system of mass global tourism is completely unsustainable. The key reason why the present tourism show is path past its prime and why a greater amount of us have to center around making choices. Mass mechanical tourism depends on the get-together, conveyances and utilization of packaged items, and as an outcome, one item is substitutable for another. The commoditization. The commoditization of what ought to be considered as interesting is additionally irritated by the utilization of mechanical cost cutting, procedure of homogenization, institutionalization and robotization that further strip out any outstanding remnants of distinction. Both local legislator and frequently not really local engineer advantage immensely from this development. Yet, once in a while, stay put sufficiently long to need to adapt to the emergencies caused by overcapacity and unstable request. The tourism services are perishable and it's a period based that can't be loaded. So, when limit goes up and request decreases, cost reducing is the versatile strategy of decision. Innovative networks and value correlation motors have moved acquiring energy to purchasers. This quickens the descending weight on cost and yields. Occupants of tourism hotspots who may have respected the principal floods of guests soon locate the shabby travel doesn't decrease their expenses. Tourist arrival cause a lot of problem to destination like issues related to water, lodging and framework cost to increment at a rate firmly related with the decrease in tourism operators' edges. Tragically, more tourism frequently implies less advantage to the host groups. Tourism is contended so energetically to be perceived as an industry. The tourism community pieces once more into its particular segments when issue of barter, carbon, water shortage, waste and other externalities are raised. Airlines don't pay imposes on flying fuel and have battled carbon related charges for a considerable length of time. Dear learners, let's summarize this topic. We have to build up the possibility of convenient travel and begin to envision a superior option to make tourism more sustainable. There is need to make tourism diversification. Change should happen at the grassroots level. One goal at any given moment, it will be a matter of first importance. Expect hosts to wake up and see their reality in an unexpected way. There, I need that no resource of destination to be misused, but rather as a holy place to be ensured and celebrated for its uniqueness. There is need that service providers don't see their clients as negligible unit of utilization, but rather as visitor looking to the recuperated and changed. Our cognizant or careful option is about less volume, clog, bother, devastation and hurt, and about all the more important reason, esteem, peace and satisfaction. Elective tourism or sustainable tourism is conceivable answer for the mass tourism. For example, ecotourism, agrotourism, community tourism. There are numerous conceivable option approaches which permit to escape the predominant mass tourism models. Past the monetary issues, we should likewise consider the social and cultural measurements, the relationship to the earth, the investment to host group and create maintainable tourism systems with more noteworthy financial advantages for the host nation. Thank you.